that 8 consecutive dubs for our Raps as they're in Houston taking on the Rockets, the bottom-seeded Houston Rockets, to finish off the 3-game road swing. And you know what? They go out there. You guys are so used to seeing me bring out the nasty, gross-looking broom. Well, I got this thing for Christmas for this specific reason only, because we're sweeping up the mess that was the teams that face the Toronto Raptors on their homestands, I guess. I mean, the Raptors go into Charlotte, they go into Oklahoma City, and they go into Houston, and they take all three, and winning tonight convincingly, 139-120, and they sweep away the mini 3-game road swing. You gotta love it. 8 straight wins, 31-23 on the season, watching Brooklyn lose yet again. After the Harden crazy deal, you think things would open up a bit. Kyrie goes off tonight. Nope, they still lose and they lost to the Wizards. But for the Toronto Raptors, they are in Houston against the Rockets, a team who offensively can score a lot. I mean, we've been, it reminds me a lot of the Charlotte Hornets in the sense that they can score at will, but they can't play defense to save their life. And the question was, were you going to be able to match them offensively? No Fred VanVleet in the lineup. He had a sore groin, so he didn't play in this one. He was on the bench, though, with the fellas, but he did not suit up for the Raptors in this game. And with it being post-trade deadline now, everybody can chill. Guys like Malachi Flynn, who obviously, and maybe he's been talked about, I don't know, but a guy that Raptor fans have kind of been like, whatever he goes, it's not a big deal. But for him, it's now after the trade deadline, so just play basketball. And him, Delano, Boucher, Birch, all those guys had big-time minutes bigger than usual minutes, let's put it that way. And they made a big-time impact, and we'll get to that bench unit in a little bit. But the Raptors, in the first quarter, defensively were nowhere to be found. But then again, you're playing against the Rockets, as I mentioned, who are an abysmal defensive ball club. So you were down by 4 after 1, yes, 41-37. But I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, look, the Raptors' defense is pretty damn good. Even without Fred, because obviously their length is insane. What are the odds they're not going to give up 41 again? Pretty good. Now, the Raptors' offense over the course of this 8-game win streak, I guess 7 at the time, has been very good. Whether it's shooting the 3, whether it's just been shooting from the field, even from the free throw line the last few games. So the question was, who's going to get those stops? And the Raptors locked in defensively in that second quarter, turning them over a ton, leading to runouts. The Raptors' offense continued to roll. They dropped 36 more, whereas the Houston Rockets go ice cold. They only dropped 23, and the Raptors are up by 9 at halftime. So you're feeling good. You're in that spot, kind of where you were at yesterday against the Oklahoma City Thunder. You're up by 8 at halftime against them. You're up by 9 tonight. But when like we said against that Oklahoma City Thunder team, when are you going to get that punch from OKC, and how are you going to react? Well, how are they going to react to Houston today? Well, Houston didn't really make that big of a punch. The Raptors, again, in the third quarter, they dropped 31. They only allowed 28. And credit Chris Boucher for that big-time 3 at the end of the third quarter. It was great. He knocks it down. He's only made 3 of the game to make it a 12-point lead for the Toronto Raptors. Really, that 3-point shot was the differential in the quarter, 31-28. And now you're up by 12. You could have been up by 9 again going into the fourth, but you're up by double digits now heading into the fourth. And crucial moments to start the fourth. The bench unit gets the start, as they usually do in games, right? You try and get some leeway out of your bench to give your starters some chance to breathe and get back into it. Pascal and Gary, especially Pascal at 5 fouls at the time, those guys didn't come back into the game about the 7.5-minute mark, 7-minute mark. So you bought 5 minutes of time between the start of the fourth quarter and that 7-minute mark of your bench guys going out there, and they put in work. They did a great job. They built the lead up a little bit. At one point it was 19. They did a fantastic job building that lead up. Then they made on a little run, got it to like 12. Then Nick's like, all right, enough of this nonsense. Get those guys back out there. And they sealed the deal. And then you're able to take, Gary off the court. Not one guy hit 40 minutes tonight. Gary Trent Jr. led the way with 37. That's normal. It's great. You know, especially in the second night of back-to-back, you didn't have to overdo your starters, and it was really, really nice. Now, you win that fourth quarter, 35-28, as you should, and as they have lately, winning those fourth quarter battles, which is so important. And they win the game by 19, 139-120. It's a fantastic job overall by the Raps tonight. You know, there were times where they were a little sloppy, especially in the first quarter defensively. But once they get locked in defensively, it's game over at that point, right? Especially for a team like Houston that can't defend. You know, if you're having the team on the other side who's locking you down, good luck. Good luck. Now, let's get to the individuals. OG Anunoby knocked down some big shots in the early going of that fourth quarter. 13 points, 4 boards, couple dimes on 5 of 13 shooting. Was 3 of 8 from three-point range. He did a great job in this game. As much as the numbers, 5 of 13 is not the greatest, but 3 of 8 from three-point range, and he did a lot of great things in this basketball game. Now, Pascal Siakam, I mean, what more can we say about this guy? He's going to end up, at this rate, he'll end up shooting over 50% on the season from the field. And that's unheard of. The volume he's taking, 30 points in the game. I mean, a majority of that, at least double figures, in that second quarter. He dominated that second quarter. 30 points, 3 boards, 4 assists for Pascal. 13 of 19 from the field. Like, not only is the guy dropping 30, he's just stupidly efficient as well. It's remarkable to watch. 3 of 5 from the line, 1 of 4 from distance. Incredible game, and even though he fouled out, he still played with incredible energy, and I think he had that 5th foul in the third quarter, and he was able to last till like the last, 4 minutes of the game. So, found a way to stay in the game as long as possible, played over 30 minutes, and made a huge impact when he was on the floor. Now, you could argue, give it the co-player of the game, but Gary Trent Jr., absolutely phenomenal. 42 in the game. 1 board, 4 assists for Gary. Shot 15 for 26, with 6 of 7 from the line, 6 of 13 from 3, and he had 5 steals in the game. As much as Pascal was phenomenal, he's been the player of the game in most of these contests. Gary Trent knocking down 42 on 50% from the field, missed 1 free throw, was almost 50% from 3, and had 5 steals. He's the player of the game in this one. You could easily give the co-MVP to Pascal, but my God, Gary was phenomenal. Those two guys, without Fred, led the charge in this game, and they were outstanding. Scotty Barnes didn't really impose himself offensively, but again, did things to help the squad. You know, there was a few possessions where he made some tough plays, like the tough pass to Precious. And when you get that guy in transition, trying to catch, dribble, run all at once, good luck. And I think he traveled in the play as well, because there was a guy defending right in front of him. As he picked the ball up, turns around, the guy's right in front of him. You give Precious that, and it's a disaster, at least at this point in his young career. So tough read from Scotty there, but 9 points, 7 boards, 6 assists in the game, shot 4 of 9, 1 of 5 from distance. But again, it's the 7 boards and the 6 assists going along with, your other starters getting it done. I'll take that from Scotty any night if everybody else is cooking. Fine by me. So, Chris Boot, now let's get to the fun stuff, right? Because the talk of the town has been the bench being abysmal. And we were all talking, everyone's talking about it, right? The Raptors need to go in the trade deadline and get some bench help. They need some scoring off the bench, this and that. And I was all for it, and I still think they should have done so. But tonight, those guys coming off the bench made that statement of, we don't need anybody, we got it. Chris Boucher, 16 points, 5 boards, 4 of 8 shooting, 7 of 8 from the line, was 1 of 2 from distance. And get these numbers. Plus 17 when he was on the floor. The guy played 23 minutes. And I got this for all the bench guys because it's important. Malachi Flynn. He's been a guy that's been talked about getting moved. He really doesn't fit in the team, all this, blah, blah, blah. And his dad, with all the shenanigans he's caused and everything, it makes it real tough on his kid to go out there and play hard, knowing that his dad on social media is looming over him like that. But he was phenomenal tonight. I thought Malachi was great. 8 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists on 3 of 6 shooting. Was 2 of 2 from 3. And can we talk about those 2 threes that he took and made? Those were high difficulty shots. Big time buckets there for Malachi. He had 2 steals in the game as well. Was a plus 23 while he was on the floor in only 21 minutes. And the guy played 21 minutes. So you got to give Malachi credit. When he was out there, he was making it happen. So a good job for Malachi. Delano off the bench, 10 points, 4 boards, 3 assists on 5 of 8 shooting. He was a plus 17 while he was on the floor in only 20 minutes of work. And then Kem Birch, seeing those minutes rise a little bit. He obviously points and rebounds. That's not Kem Birch. But the plus 17 in 16 minutes. I mean, take it in, guys. Like, the starters got it done with the points. Pascal and Gary, they were phenomenal. But you had Chris Boucher at plus 17. Malachi plus 23. Delano plus 17. And Kevin Birch with plus 17. Your bench got it done in this game. And they got it done when it mattered most there to start that fourth quarter. Fantastic job from the Raps tonight, top to bottom. There were times where it got a little shaky, of course, because they started making shots. Porter Jr. was great. Jalen Green was good. But again, it's all about looking flashy and gorgeous. But if you're going to lose by 19 and give up almost 140, it doesn't matter. Can we talk about their coach real quick? I even looked this guy up real quick. The guy looks bored. I'm watching him, right? And then he calls a turnover, and the guy's just like, just walking around, I'm like, my God, your team's supposed to fight and claw and try their best for that? And I'm watching Nick Nurse when you're down 15 trying to get back in the game, and he's up there and getting this, and the referees here, all this, and I'm like, man, that is totally different coaching styles. And I don't know if that's going to work for Houston or work at all. But my God, if I'm a fan, I look at that and I'm like, our coach is really caring a lot. Or at least he's showing it. I don't know. That's just my take. I want to get your guys' thoughts, though, in the comments. Let's get into the team stats and wrap this baby up. Raptors shoot 55% from the field. I mean, it helps when the two guys who took the most shots by quite a bit shot almost, 60% for both, basically? I mean, that definitely helps your cause. But 55% from the field for the Toronto Raptors, 38% from three-point range, and 82% from the line. They were 100% on the line. Was it last game? It was either the last game or the Charlotte game. But either way, they were 82% from the line today. A very good contest yet again offensively when you drop 139. I sure hope you're shooting well. And Houston shot 52%, 42% from three. They did score 120 right now, albeit they did score 41 in the first, then 23, 28, 28. So nothing too crazy the rest of the way. So it's kind of lopsided in that sense, but overall not bad. 60% from the line, though. They were pretty ugly from the free throw line. Now, team stats. Raptors were plus 10 in the turnovers category. We turned them over 10 more times, and it was so crucial because it led to plus 15 in points off of those turnovers. So crucial to the win. And get this, the Raptors had 70 points in the paint. 70 points in the paint. They were plus 16 in that category. They dominated on the inside, and that's obviously a lot of credit to Pascal on this one. He was fantastic. Boucher, 16. I'd say, other than the 3 that he made, I think all of them were in the paint and at the free throw line. Just fantastic game all around from the Raptors, guys. They've won 8 straight. They didn't play crazy minutes tonight. Fred got the day off, whether he's sore groin or was a rest, but they're saying it was something else to give him some rest. Whatever the case may be, rested up Fred, because on Saturday, the Raptors come back home. And I think they hit the road after that for a little bit of a road trip as well. And if that's the case, do they come back after that road swing to fans in the stands? I don't know how it's going to work. I have to look at the schedule more. But the one home game before they hit the road again is on Saturday, 7:30 tip-off against the Denver Nuggets. And that team, hey, they're in the playoffs in the Western Conference. So that team's good. You got to welcome them in and see what you can do. You've beaten up on some bad teams lately, which is great. You're doing what you're supposed to do against teams like Charlotte, OKC, Houston. You did a job. Now, you got a good team. Raptors through this 8-game win streak have done a great job against good teams, especially at the beginning of the streak. Let's see what they can do against Denver on Saturday night. Looking for win number 9 in a row. Going to be tough, but let's see what this team is capable of. They are definitely capable to do so. We'll have to wait and see how it plays out, though, right? So you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. You enjoyed the video and you enjoyed the game this evening. Smack the like button. Do appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button if you guys have not done so already. And where are we here? Comment down below, thoughts on the video, thoughts on the game, what you like, what you not like from today's game day for the Toronto Raptors. The Twitter link is down below, so follow up, send me a DM with that great stuff. The Instagram link is also down below, so follow up there if you guys have not done so already. And I will talk to you guys, the Leaf session very shortly. They're getting their butt wiped by Calgary, so that'll be fun to talk about after the third period's over. But as for the Toronto Raptors, their next contest is on Saturday night, 7:30 tip-off at Scotiabank Arena against the Denver Nuggets. All right, so let's see how it all plays out, guys. Thank you so much for listening and watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. We'll talk to you guys then.